Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Zeropean Championships, sponsored by They Think It's All Sober. Today, we have 24 of the finest zeros from all around the world. We have some big names, some small names, some hard hitters, some heavy hitters, and some left of centre. We have split them into 4 groups, 6 in each group. Tom and I will try them, taste them, rate them, and then by the end of this, we will have the greatest zero in the world.
Good afternoon to you all. Welcome to the Zeros, brought to you by They Think It's All Sober and hosted by me, Simon Thomas. It really is a groundbreaking tournament. 24 zeros, 4 groups, 1 winner. Now each beer will be reviewed, ranked, and the top 2 will go through into the next round. But who will be crowned the hero of the Zeros?
How are you feeling?
Good. I mean, this has taken a lot of prep.
It has.
And we were going to go as far as like trying to find a zero from each country, but that's mental.
Yeah, so my friend Gus actually does this for every tournament where he gets an actual beer from every country, and he's smashed it for the Euros, and Lab Bible actually nicked his idea, which I'm not happy about, Lab Bible, if you're watching, you bastards. But anyway, we've wanted to do this for a long time, we thought we were going to do some kind of tournament last year, and we were like, well, hang on, the Zeros is coming up. So we should probably do the Zeropean Championships.
The Euros.
So, the Euros, the Zeros. So the groups have been drawn. Shall I walk people through Group 1?
Let's go for Group 1.
Okay.
It is a massive group with some early tournament favourites going head-to-head already. The Giants' Lucky Saint up against Corona, Freedom and Stella in what will surely be a contest to remember.
So this was done by we inputted all the beers we had, and this was done by a random draw. And I feel like this Group 1, feels like, you know, when they draw it and suddenly you've seen like Spain, Italy and England in like group. This is it. We've got some hard hitters here. And I know that some of my favourite zeros exist in there. So, you know, but we're pitching them against each other. And we'll see.
I'm coming into this as well with a really open mind, because you and I did a bit of a taste test maybe 7 or 8 months ago for research purposes.
Yeah.
And the zeros I thought were going to smash it completely changed when I was tasting them up against each other.
That's right.
So we're just going to have a couple of swigs of each.
Yeah.
And then we'll rate our top 2 from each group. They'll go through into the quarters. Then we'll do the runner-up versus the winner.
Yeah.
Combined and go. So, number 1.
Freedom. Traditionally one of the top. Gluten-free, vegan, sugar-free, and brewed in Barcelona.
Well, I was about to say brewed in Malta, but I think that might just be Spanish for malt. So I don't actually know where it's brewed. Let's not get too granular on this.
Right.
But it's so good for me. It's so fresh. It's so up there.
It's really good.
It's really enjoyable.
It's really good.
Next we have Menabrea. This is an Italian lager.
Right. I'm not sure if I've had Menabrea Zero before.
I've never had it.
Right.
And just to give people some context, we ordered all of these from the incredible people at the Wise Bartender.
That's right.
They've got no idea we're doing this, by the way. I probably could have hooked them up, hit them up, and we probably could have done something more interesting with them. But
time's not been on our side, my liege.
As you can probably tell by us just powering through these. Okay, so this is Menabrea from Italy, Group 1.
It's foaming.
It's foaming. Interesting.
Okay.
I would call that a restaurant beer. Doesn't feel very sessiony to me. I feel like 1, and I would probably be a little bit too full. But it's heavy. But it's not distasteful.
I don't mind that. I do not mind that at all.
Okay.
Ye old faithful.
The poor. See, people are going to think this is fixed because we have been shouting about Lucky Saint for many a moon.
Might put them out deliberately. Zero bias here, by the way. We're just straight in.
See, this is really interesting when trying against other lagers.
Yeah. It is good.
It's always good. It's always good. It does what it says on the tin. But I already have some thoughts. We're going to get into this group. Okay. Then one for the fucking gazers. We've got
Stella
Artois. I'm just going to go straight in with this. This is ice cold, by the way. So this might. I don't want the temperature of the beer to change how we're feeling about it.
No, not at all. Send it down.
See, it's interesting when you get the flavour profile of a more classic lager when talking about the zeros. Because to me, amongst those other 3, feels very watery. But if I'm talking about football sessioning, I could probably smash a crate of those.
This is a very good football beer.
Yeah.
This is a very good, especially when you got those group stages that we're going to be watching where you've got 3 games in a day.
Exactly.
You could sit and put these away. I like it. Definitely, I like what you say. Definitely more watery than the others. You haven't had this, have you?
Never.
I've had this recently at a restaurant and I was a big fan.
Kingfisher Zero.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you like about it before I try it?
Well, I had it with a curry, so it's proper traditional, like when you go there, you know, Kingfisher and Cobras are like the sort of curry beers, aren't they? So, you know, for those people getting a takeaway, watching the Zeros, first game on a Sunday night.
Oh. It's hot. Is it hoppy? It's definitely flavoursome in, like, the aftertaste is giving me something there. What's it giving me?
I know what you mean.
Do I like it? I'm not sure. Do I like the aftertaste?
I'm not sure.
See, but now we've got, in my humble opinion, the Paris Saint-Germain of the Zeros, because you feel like it should always win, but it never quite does.
Yeah.
But
send it. I feel like we should have a lime in it, really, but we...
Corona. She's frothing. Preparation. She's frothing. Oh man, that to me is up there. It is up there. This is a hard group. This is a very hard group.
It's really good. Thing is, for me, Corona is like a different type of beer. It exists in its own like category.
Even when you drank.
Even when I drank. And I feel like this is a really good replica of Corona.
I agree.
And yeah, so I mean, here we are. We have Corona, we've got Kingfisher, we've got Menabrea, we've got Freedom, we've got Lucky Saint, and we've got Stella. This is a hard group to differentiate, but I think
this is tough because I've got a controversial opinion.
I could probably put 4 of these through.
Same.
I actually think if these beers were in a different order, we'd be having a very different conversation. This is difficult.
It is difficult. I'm personally going to go for Freedom as group winner.
Yep, I would agree. Freedom for me is definitely through.
Yep.
That's through. So we have Freedom as our winner. Okay,
so Freedom is group winner. Number 2, mate, it depends on the purpose of the survey. It's Lucky Saint for me. It's Lucky Saint. I enjoyed Stella. It felt too watery, though. I could feel like I may as well just drink water. Corona, sunny day. It's a really nice beer to enjoy with a fresh bit of lime. The other 2 felt like meal accompaniments.
I'm going to go
with a Lucky Saint.
I tell you what, I agree with you, and I'll put Lucky Saint through. And I know people probably think there's a bias here, but the reason why also, and I know we haven't got necessarily a criteria, both of these are available on draft, which I actually think if you're going to like watch it at like a fan park, or you're going to go to a pub or something, having these available for the Euros is up there. Yeah. I think it was a really, really close second between that and the Corona and Stella. Any of those they're all decent.
Yeah, if I turn up to someone's house and they were like, bro, I know you don't drink, I've got your back, I've got you some Zeros, I would have been happy with any of those.
Yeah, same. So tough group to call, but I think Freedom, group winner, Lucky Saint, arguably through on goals.
Yeah.
Goals scored. So
there we go. Group winner, Freedom of Group 1, and runner-up, Lucky Saint.
And there we have it. It's a classic. Freedom taking top spot with Lucky Saint in second place. Notable shout-outs to Corona and Stella, who on another day could easily have made it into the top 2.
Group 2.
Group 2. Okay, so in Group 2 we have San Miguel.
Yes.
Krombacher.
Yes.
Bavaria.
Yeah.
Peroni.
Yeah.
Estrella.
Yeah.
And Mashgang Stoop.
That's right.
You're going to need a bottle opener.
Bottle opener, please, my liege.
Group 2 sees the entry of some real dark horses. Krombacher and Bavaria are tournament outsiders, but don't underestimate the power of the German Zeros. Group 2 also brings in the UK powerhouses, Mash Gang, right into the arena. But how are they going to fare? Let's go back to the studio to find out.
So, interesting group this. Because Bavaria is one that I thought Producer G's trying one that we chose not to put into the categories, and he looks like he's just drank lead. Bavaria is an interesting one because I thought for a long time that Bavaria was a Asda owned beer, but it's not. It's available everywhere.
Right.
So, and I love it. Right. Group 2. You go, my friend. You go.
Right. I'm doing all that. So, San Miguel Zero. Quite a staple beer. You see this quite a few places.
Abroad, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. It's quite has a very distinctive aftertaste, the San Miguel, which I actually think if you are a lager drinker, you drink it, but I'm not sure how much you'd warm to like a sesh.
To me, that screams holiday, dinner with your partner, 1 or 2. Oh, I have a 0, but I'm not seshing on that.
Yeah.
And we've got two
Estrella Zero.
Yeah, 2 Balearic region hard hitters coming in this group.
Estrella used to send me sideways. Real alcoholic Estrella.
Really?
Used to send me like doolally. Like if I had like a night on it, I'd be
You'd be absolutely off your nut.
Yeah, so. Oh, fuck.
He's frothing.
Decent drop, that. Quite watery. Kind of like the Stella in the sense I feel like.
Interesting, because my perception of this when I'm away is this is quite heavy.
Yeah, but it's not.
Compared to that, it's really not.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at how much I enjoy that.
It's nice.
Okay.
It's nice. Peroni Zero. So, again, if you go to a lot of restaurants and places, this is like a real staple beer, a zero beer, I find, and I enjoy it. I know I enjoy Peroni, so let's go.
How are we going to last this entire time? We've got so much beer to drink. Okay. Give me your thoughts.
It's weird doing it back to back to back.
It highlights what I don't like. It's water. It really, to me, feels like the big brands just don't have that flavour profile.
I don't mind it. I did an entire wedding. I did Swanee and Mel's wedding, and I drank Peronis throughout the day and most of the evening. Didn't mind it.
That's a Fellaini to me. It's just in the side. It's just in the side, floating forward. Occasionally gets a goal you're not expecting.
Right, Kronbacher Zero. So
right, can I give context to this?
Kronbacher.
When I was in Frankfurt for West Ham Frankfurt,
yeah,
and Aaron Cresswell got sent off in like the 7th minute, and we went 1-0 down, and we were knocked out of the cup. Right?
Yeah.
You can drink in the stands in Germany.
Yeah.
And it's fucking brilliant. Well, not for the World Cup, not for the Euros. You can't. Though, we can't be trusted.
They're watering it down, aren't they?
However, Kronbacher was a German beer, and it was only about a month before I went sober, and it was the best beer I've ever drank in my life, and I can't believe it took me like 20 years of drinking to find it.
Right.
So I'm hoping, because I haven't tried this before, I'm hoping that this is incredible.
That's good. In terms of beer aftertaste, that's very, very good.
Oh, it's interesting. It's like sweet going in, bitter coming out.
And now it's honey.
Yeah.
I like it.
That has a flavour profile one did not expect.
I didn't expect that.
Kronbacher Zero.
Right. Mash Gang, Stu, big up Mash Gang actually, doing bits.
They are absolutely flying, and I'm a big fan just of the team.
Yeah.
Because I did have one in my fridge that's like milky Captain Cereal. I was like, well, I can't bring that one. That's just ridiculous.
But this is their like low alcohol American Pilsner, and Stoop is the one that kind of is probably most popular, I would say.
I'd say so. Yeah, I mean, they've got so many SKUs. It's wild.
Oh, I love it. They have this down in Cornwall, where I go in St Agnes, and it reminds me of holiday. A little bit crafty,
mate. There's something so beautiful about the sip of that. And I don't know whether it's the big can versus bottle scenario, but that to me is fantastic.
And to finalise this group, Bavaria Zero. So here we go.
I know Get Sober with Nick loves these as much as I do.
again, interesting aftertaste. I like it. I'm not sure I love it.
Interestingly, amongst the others, I would say I agree. There's almost like a flatness to it, not the actual beer, but like the flavour profile.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's group 2.
I'm gonna give you my first choice on this one. I actually, out of all of those, I would put Mash Gang Stoop top.
I would say the same.
Interesting.
So that is our group 2 winner.
Very, very tough to call this because I actually think the Krombacher and Bavaria were quite similar, actually, in terms of taste and what they delivered. I get what you're saying about the Peroni, and I think the San Miguel would... I don't know if I'd tire of it too quickly. So for me, I think it's probably the Estrella Zero.
Interesting.
But it's close.
I'm going to have to try that again.
Excuse me, I'm getting very gassy already.
Okay, for me it's between this and this. So for me it's between Estrella and Krombacher.
Yeah, I mean that was... I think I prefer the Krombacher to the Bavaria, and that would have been my slight choice after.
I'm with you. It hits like a beer. Krombacher doesn't have that same effect that the one I had in Germany, which was like real beery.
So Estrella second.
Estrella's going through as a runner-up.
Goodness me, what a tight-knit contest. Mash Gang storming to first place, but the runner-up could have gone to absolutely anyone. Sad to see Krombacher go so early, a favourite of Jamie's in his drinking days, but there we go. You never know where it's going to go.
Right, group 3, swiftly moving on.
Okay, group 3. This is what I would call a rogue group.
Yeah.
This is like if all of the countries that you didn't expect to qualify for the championship did.
Yeah.
Here we are. This is Leicester winning the league.
Yeah, this is Scotland being in the Euros.
This is Scotland being in the Euros. Oh, Producer G, how are Ireland in the Euros? Oh, they're not. What a shame.
You knew that!
Of course I knew
Just
it.
sending for it.
Of course I knew it.
He's like, lads, I've lost the file, so sorry. Right,
No Damien Duff. That's the problem. And Declan Rice abandoned you for England. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Here we are then, Group 3 of the Zeropean Championship, brought to you by me, Simon Thomas, and They Think It's All Sober. Now we see a group full of zeros that we never even thought would make the tournament, including some first-timers for both Jamie and Tom. Will the Minnows and Maritz be a welcome surprise, or will they be left with more to be desired?
Some interesting ones here. I've definitely never had Maritz.
Left 0. This was a last-minute addition from Waitrose this morning.
Yeah, this was
me calling you going, there's a left 0.
Well, we actually chose to omit Heineken from this championship.
We did. Fuck it.
Well, come on, it smells like weed.
Yeah. And
no one's stoked on a Heineken Zero, I'm just
what?
saying.
There's no Beck's Blue either.
There's no Beck's Blue. Well, we tried, actually. I wanted the redemption arc of Beck's Blue. Okay, so talk to me about Leffe. I've got a feeling... Is it Leffe or Lef? Lef.
That's not for me.
It's a blonde beer. I don't like it. I don't like it scent-wise. I mean, it says subtle notes of vanilla and cloves.
Mate, that tastes of fucking MCAT.
Oh my god, it does when it hits the throat.
Get rid of it.
Okay, well that's not good.
Disqualified.
Imagine if someone's just there, like doing the bottom. So Rothaus or the Rothaus.
This is German Gymnasium's.
I was about to say
beer.
German Gymnasium's beer of choice.
And I really like it in German Gym.
Yes.
So. It's good. It's very bitter, but I don't know if that's that aftertaste of the MCAT that I just...
No, you're right.
Quite bitter.
There's a bitterness to it.
But I don't remember it being that bitter when I've had it before.
Out of a glass. But they do pour a bottle into the glass, right? So... Yeah, I like that. I like it.
Don't mind it. Let's hit the Maritz. Never had this before.
Where's it from?
Barcelona.
Nice.
0-0, 0 sugar.
You look confused. You've gone for a second swig. Is that positive?
Don't mind that. It's actually quite similar in aftertaste to that Bavaria, I feel. See what you think.
It's got hints of lemon, I'd say. There's a real fruitiness to this, which is intriguing. I really like that.
Yeah.
Really like that. And I've never heard of it before. So, Moritz is up there for me.
Right. Big drop, Reef Point Lager. So, again, this reminds me of Cornwall. They have this. There's a little place in St Agnes called the Tap House.
Okay.
Which is a really nice little restaurant up in the village. And they have this. So, Mash Gang and this, I know I'm fond of.
Talk me through your thoughts.
It's nice. It's compared to the others that we've tasted, it's not as bitter. It's a lot lighter. But I feel like we've had some really heavy ones.
It reminds me of something I'd get at like a regional festival. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Brooklyn special effects. So, I know I'm a fan of this, but I know it's more craft. It's not a traditional lager. So
I mean, to be fair, we've gone pretty out and out fucking lager with this, haven't we? We've not really got anything crafty. We gave them all to G.
It's very good though.
No Guinness either.
No Guinness. Oh yeah, no Guinness Zero. I don't like Guinness, so that's the issue. So that's too hoppy for me personally.
Yeah, it doesn't fulfil the category of like. But that's our fault for including it. True. It's good though for what it is.
Budvar.
Never had Budvar Zero.
Me neither. So I'm excited for this one. Fantastic Czech lager. I always get confused because I believe it's from the Budweiser family, or Budweiser was inspired by Budvar initially. Budweiser stole their name from Budvar, coming from producer G. So
we'll have to fact check that, but we'll take it as gospel.
Yeah, sorry Budweiser if you're watching.
Yeah, I like that.
During the war, you said. Ah, okay. That's an interesting taste as well for me. Okay, this is a hard group. Lef, Moritz, Rothaus, Big Drop, Brooklyn, Budvar.
Difficult.
I'm
ruling Lef out.
I'm going rogue with this.
Go on.
I'm saying Moritz was my favourite out of all.
Moritz was my favourite.
Was it yours too?
Yeah. I think out of all of them, weirdly.
Interesting.
Lef is out. I would say it's Moritz, followed by probably.
It's hard.
Either the Budvar or the Rothaus.
Okay, I'm completely in the same position as you here.
Very different. Like the Budvar. I think actually, if we're talking about watching football and actually, having a few zeros with your mates, I think it'd be easier to have some Budvars. I think it's a little bit lighter.
Yeah, okay.
The Rothaus is quite bitter, and I like it, but I would probably send through the Budvar.
So we are going with winner, Group 3, Moritz, sorry, not Chloe Moretz,
Yep.
Moritz, and runner-up,
Budvar.
Can you believe it? The outsiders that no one had heard of pre-tournament are the Group 3 winners. A truly remarkable achievement from Moritz, and you can see it in Jamie and Tom's faces. They are shocked, they are surprised, quite frankly, they're stunned. A tough war contest for second place, that was taken by Budvar. This competition is reaching boiling point.
But what's interesting actually is that I think out of that group, if we'd have incorporated, I actually think any of these still.
Corona would have got through that group.
Corona would have got through that group. Maybe Stella.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Well, yeah, from a sesh perspective, yeah.
So interesting. But hey, we can't change the groups.
Listen, I don't make the rules.
Yeah, we don't make the
rules.
rules.
The random group generator on Google did. Group 4. So, one really fucking rogue one here. So we have Tiny Foam.
Oh, this is a strong group.
This is a big group. There's some heavy hitters in this group.
Yeah.
We've got Tiny Foam.
Yeah.
Moretti.
Yeah.
Bitburger.
Yeah.
Kaiserdom.
Yeah.
Asahi.
Yeah.
And Erdinger.
Welcome along. It is the final group stage, and once again we are seeing a group absolutely dominated by the Germans. Notable mention here to the little town Tiny Foam, who snuck in at the last moment when Brewdog dropped out due to a lack of availability. Their loss, not ours. Let's head to the studio.
I'm so bloated.
Mate, I'm gonna have to just throw my guts up.
Group 4, we're starting with an unknown beer to me called Tiny Foam.
Okay.
From the Donzoko Brewing Company.
Yep.
Brewed in Edinburgh.
Cool.
And the idea is that it's vegan friendly and foamy.
Okay.
Foamy beers for good times, as you can probably see by the amount of foam coming out of it.
Let's have it. You look very confused.
I don't think I've ever tasted a beer with that flavour profile before. I don't dislike it. Right? Look, we're doing these things so you don't have to. It's not bad.
Mate, it tastes like a White Claw beer.
Yeah, you're right. It's got some form of very niche. I mean, it's meant to be foamy, so I'm wondering whether it's meant to be poured, whatever.
All right. It is what it is. We are where we are.
We are where we are. Beer Moretti.
Yep, cool. Strong.
I mean,
like,
I'm never stoked if I see this in a pub. I'll be honest with you. But look, it might surprise. We've been surprised thus far. We might be surprised again.
Thus far. I don't mind them. I don't love them.
It just tastes like restaurants where the servers are rude. That's what it tastes like to me. It reminds me of going into Soho House and being made to feel unwelcome.
Yeah. Do you want anything else? Do you want the bill?
Yeah, is that well, when you're just like, excuse me, can I just, and they're just like,
This is so good.
G's into the left. You like it?
Yeah, it's nice.
There you
Fucking absolute psychopath.
So,
Producer who loves the one that I disqualified.
Asahi Zero.
This is up there. We know
For
that
me
it's one
and
of
you,
our favourites.
this is something that we tried at Hakkasan with
Simon,
and we
yeah.
were mind blown.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not, again, no bias because there's some other big beers to come here.
Yeah. Big up Simon, who is the beverages manager, I believe, at Hakkasan. Very kindly invited us there and introduced us to this, and it was very, very good.
Yeah, see, that is really good. Interestingly though, it's got a different flavour profile.
me.
Honestly, this is why did we decide to do this in half an hour? This is a very different flavour profile to Moretti. So it's not standing up as much as I thought it would against the Moretti.
Interesting.
Do you feel the same?
Yeah. But it's good.
But it's good.
Let's keep it rolling. Erdinger.
Yes.
So very, very specific flavour this has. One that I really like is isotonic. I believe that a lot of German sports teams, people will use this after like training. Really good for like replenishment, electrons.
It's good.
Electrolytes.
Electrons. Yeah, different flavour profile yet again with the Erdinger, I think.
Oh, it's very nice though.
Well, that's what I mean. It's
very nice.
It's flavoursome. Talk to me. You're learning. Someone told me that elderly people drink it a lot in Germany.
Fair.
I don't know why.
Fair enough. I like it a lot.
Kaiser Dom. Another German beer I have not drank before. Can I just say something? The smell of it makes me not want to drink it.
Go on, just get it done.
God. That is the first beer we've had in this tournament that has actually made me coil.
Oh, do I even want to? Doesn't smell great.
Mate, what is that?
Oh my god.
What is it? It tastes like purified lead.
Mate, it tastes like, you know when you get a pint where they haven't, the lines haven't just been cleaned or something.
No, it tastes like drinking liquid cocaine, and not in a good way.
Kaiser Dom. Yeah, this is just like Germany getting hammered 6-0. This beer.
That is
like,
Emil Heskey is fucking you up.
Yeah.
He's absolutely coming for you with that. That is horrific.
Again, probably going to disqualify that.
That's disqualified. That is, yeah. 3 red cards in the group
send
stage.
it to G, you'll like
3
it.
red cards
there
in the
you go.
group stage.
Kaiser Dom
Right.
through.
And last up, this is our final beer in the group stages.
Bitburger. It's
Bitburger.
traditionally a pretty solid beer.
It doesn't smell like death. Fan fucking tastic. That's just won every group game for me. That is just smashed through.
Mate,
top of the group.
Clear winner.
Without a doubt.
Send it through.
Bitburger.
My God,
has
that's unbelievable.
won. Yeah, that really is. that is as close to a lager zero as I've had.
That's very, very good. Ooh. Right, this is hard because, right, I think Foamy beer, little foam, whatever it's called.
Yeah, sorry,
and
Donzonko.
Kaiser Dom can get out. Moretti, rude waitress. Let's go over there.
See you later,
Rude
love.
waiter. For me, it's now between Erdinger and Asahi. And what I would say is that I think I'd probably put the Asahi through marginally. As purely as a lager, what we're talking about, the Erdinger is a bit more like niche. And whilst I love it, and it's probably in my top 5.
I think Erdinger is like an end of day, meet your mate at the pub, have a pint, go home.
Whereas Asahi, I feel like I've sat there in an evening and gone through a few of these, and I really like it. So
Mate, it's a no-brainer.
Well, there you have it. The final round of group fixtures is done, and Bitburgers stormed through an absolute powerhouse display. And after that performance, you have to expect these guys to go long in this tournament. Early tournament favourites Asahi in a surprising second place, but they are through nonetheless. Now we head to the quarterfinals.
our quarter-finalists, ladies and gentlemen, we have Asahi Zero, Bitburger, Estrella, Mash Gang, Lucky Saint, Freedom, Budvar, and Moritz.
That is correct.
So through to the quarters.
So we will tidy up our table and we'll be back
Reconvene
for the quarterfinals.
Right.
So here we have it, some absolute favourites through and some minnows as well. We've seen surprises, we've seen big exits from the likes of Stella, Corona, San Miguel and Peroni. So here then is how they line up for the quarterfinals. It's Bitburger versus Estrella, Asahi versus Mash Gang Stoop, Lucky Saint versus Moritz, and Freedom versus Budvar. Let's head to the studios for your quarterfinals of the Zeros.
Welcome back to the Zeropean Championship, where we have our quarterfinalists.
We do indeed. What an incredible group stage. Any surprises in there for you, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Moritz going through is a surprise. I mean, we've lost some like hard hitters.
We have. I mean, Corona got knocked out. Stella got knocked out.
Peroni, some big names.
I thought Bavaria might get through. And Erdinger, which obviously we know is a favourite of ours.
We do.
But it was also close. I mean, Rothaus was close. And I tell you what wasn't close. Kaiserdom.
Get fucked.
As far as I can see, they are finishing bottom of the global rankings.
Along with Left.
Along with Left.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Let's get into
first
it.
Quarterfinal.
So the first quarterfinal is Moritz versus Frida.
This just can't be beaten.
I don't know if I agree, my friend. I don't know if I agree. There's something about that Moritz that's blowing my mind.
Moritz is good. For me, it's it's slightly too fruity.
Okay. My only argument on it is that I feel like if you were drinking those for a day,
We're through to penalties.
we are through to penalties, extra time penalties. I can pass me the Moritz again. I'm gonna have to go in on this again.
I think if we can't agree, we might have to get an independent adjudicator.
No, I would agree. You're right. Because what I'm thinking about here is on the first sip, and the first sip is like, wow. Second sip, I'm being overwhelmed with a flavour profile.
Yeah.
That maybe I don't think I'd like the whole way through.
And again, like Freedom, I know is a good solid sesh beer, and they have it on draft and be available. So if we're in agreement, I think Freedom's through to the semis.
Hang on. We have an issue here.
What?
We have an issue here. The groups were drawn wrong.
No.
The groups were drawn wrong. There's been some corruption in UEFA. Michel Platini has been caught out.
He's been caught cottaging
embezzling
in a Frankfurt toilet.
Embezzling money. So, back
Right,
for the quarterfinals. So we actually have, this is controversial, we have Moritz versus Lucky Saint.
Let's get it. Come on then.
So, Lucky Saint for you, sir.
Lucky Saint for me, Moritz for Jamie. Let's go.
That's harder.
It's harder because they're actually quite similar.
Yeah.
Swap back.
So Moritz versus Lucky Saint. How you feeling?
That's tough. I think Lucky Saint probably edges it for me, but like it's not a lot in it.
I think the same, and it's only for that same reason that I don't know if I could stomach cans and cans of this. I'll be honest with Lucky Saint, I love it. I actually can't stomach too many of them.
Yeah,
I get really gassy on that. But between the two,
I think it goes through. So
Saint is the winner.
Lucky Saint. Sorry, Moritz, you had a second chance and you blew it.
Yeah, so
You're out.
So now we have to work out who's going to play Lucky Saint in the semi-final. So Bitburger
Yep.
versus
Yep.
Estrella.
Right.
This is hard because these are two of your favourites.
They are. Right. So Bitburger, let's go. Oh, that's very good. It's got to be Bitburger.
Bitburger, straight through.
Yeah, straight through.
There's absolutely
Clear sort of clear 2 or 3-0.
Yeah.
Estrella's good though. Don't get me wrong. I actually quite like it. So fair play.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. So we have Lucky Saint versus
Bitburger in the semis.
Bitburger in the semi-final.
Right. Group 3 quarterfinals.
Now we have Freedom
Yep.
versus
Budvar.
Budvar.
Right. I'm going to do the Freedom.
I'm going to do the Budvar.
Freedom
through.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Budvar, by the way, I think is actually really nice, and I probably could drink these.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good, solid 0.
Yeah, that was a close game. That went to extra time.
I would happily drink these, but I think the Freedom's just so good.
Yeah.
That it's through.
So, big one here.
Through to the final quarterfinal.
Yes. Two of our favourites.
Asahi
versus
Mash Gang.
Stoop.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right, Asahi first for me, Mash Gang for Jamie.
She's frothing. That's hard.
That is really difficult.
Because I think they're two very different types of beers. But I equally, unlike some of the other slightly more left of centre ones, I could still sesh on the Stoop.
I think it's gone to penalties, and I think Stoop's got it for me.
I was going to say, if I was rating these on a system, I'd probably go for like an 8 and a 7.5.
Yeah.
So
Stoop's made it through. Right. Fair play.
Well, can you quite believe it? Some tough 4 battles there. Moritz nearly clinching it against the early tournament favourites Lucky Saint, who just edged through in extra time. Impressive from both Mash Gang and Bitburger. They absolutely stormed through. But the tournament really hotting up, and the semi-final draw has been made. So we are looking at Lucky Saint versus Bitburger and Freedom versus Mash Gang Stoop. Will the favourites both go through, or can we expect a bit of an upset?
welcome back to the Zeropean Championship, sponsored by They Think It's All Sober. So far we've had a gripping competition, but we are here into the semi-finals.
Mate, we lost some hard hitters in the quarters. We've seen Asahi get knocked out. We've seen Moritz, who was when one of those teams, Moritz was like when a Greece went on like the run of destiny.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's something out of nowhere was doing, but it just it fell
they
short
were my Croatia in this tournament.
Budvar, Estrella are out, but we're left with 4 premium contenders.
We are, but I would say Asahi pre-tournament was one of my pre-tournament favourites.
Yeah.
So I was shocked to see that go, and especially against something like Mash Gang, which they're a very different type of beer, which goes to show you never know what's going to happen in these tournaments. At this point, who are you thinking is the favourite in the?
I actually can't really call it at this point. These are for anyone watching, any of my friends watching or listening who remotely like me. If you're ever hosting parties or anything's there, any of these 4, I would be absolutely delighted with. I really would. So I don't have a clue right now. What about you?
Mate, it's really hard.
It's all to play for.
It is really all to play for.
So we're nearing the end of the zeros. Let's not waste any more time. To the studios we go.
Semi-final 1.
Let's go.
Here we have Lucky Saint versus Bitburger.
Right. To you, my liege.
So we're going for a classic German beer versus a fantastic British startup.
Yep.
Cheers.
Let's go. It's interesting when they're going head to head.
This is really interesting. This is really interesting, and I'm going to give you my honest thoughts. Right? There's something about Lucky Saint in a sesh environment which leaves my mouth quite dry. There's something about the Bitburger which is exceedingly lagery, but I could imagine after a few I would be feeling really gassy and just full. If I'm going on taste alone, I'm going probably leaning towards a Lucky Saint. But if I'm going on overall beer to drink at a tournament or to drink on a sesh, and probably what fits my perception of a lager, I'm controversial. I'm going with the Bitburger.
So, controversially, I think out of these two, head to head, I think the Bitburger is more for me. I think we're on penalties here. I think it's very, very tight to call, and I don't like to see Lucky Saint exiting the tournament at such a late stage.
Yeah, me neither.
You know, they're one of my favourites, and you know, we've obviously had Luke on, and Kevin's been great to us. But hey, we're unbiased, and we have to put through the Bitburger into the final.
Bitburger is our first zero into the Zeropean Championships final. Lucky Saint, you've been fantastic. Until next time, which will probably be a pub for me this weekend.
Excuse me.
This is a wild idea, because we are
have a
half
guest.
an hour in. We've drank so many beers, and we have a guest arriving at the studio in 10 minutes.
What's wrong with you guys?
Like, she's going to walk into this like, what the hell is this?
Right, semi-final 2.
Semi-final 2. Okay, 2 absolute powerhouses going in here. Mash Gang Stoop and the classic, undeniably fantastic Freedom. So
Right.
let's go.
Right, so I'm going to start with the Stoop.
The Freedom has a taste that I don't remember it having on first drink.
I've made it so far in now with zeros, I don't know.
I love the Freedom. I've always loved the Freedom, but I am going out and out. Stoop is my winner.
Mate, I'm with you. And you know what? This is insane, really, because actually we started by saying I think Lucky Saint and Freedom going into this are my 2 favourite. But maybe because it's familiarity, maybe because it's their more accessible places. But we have to do them head to head. I'm really fond of Mash Gang Stoop. Like I said, it reminds me of like being down in Cornwall, and I've been there and I've drunk maybe like 4 or 5 of these in an evening and loved it. So I think head to head for me, it's got something really nice taste to it, really nice Pilsner. So I think it's through.
Wowzers, what a result. Both of the favourites knocked out in the semi-finals. Can you believe it?
So, the final.
Bitburger versus Mash Gang Stoop. I didn't think we'd be here.
I did not think we'd be here either, but we will see who comes out victorious. Tune in for the final.
The final is upon us now. It has been a tournament to remember. We've had laughter, we've had tears, and most of all, somehow, Jamie and Tom have yet to self-combust. Now, the final sees 2 rank outsiders taking to the stage. It's Bitburger of Germany versus Mash Gang of the United Kingdom. But who will take the crown of the hero of the zeros? Let's head over to the studio to find out.
We are here in the finals of the Zeropean Championship.
It has been a tournament to remember, and one that I didn't think we'd be here.
2 unexpected contenders have reached the final.
Indeed. And 2 that I must say are beers that, if, like you said before, presented to me at someone's house, I'd be happy with, but neither probably my go-to if someone asked me what my favourites were. So I'm quite happy that we've been able to compare these against some absolute gargantuan lagers in the field. And here we are.
So we have Bitburger 0-0 Family-owned brewery since 1817.
There you go.
And
I'm assuming that the 0% weren't available in 1817.
I don't think so. But, yeah, German beer versus we have Mash Gang Stoop Low Alcohol American Pilsner.
0.5. Amazing company. I've got a lot of love for them. Incredible ethos. So many great options. But, again, when it comes to sort of a sesh lager / pilsner, this is not one I expected to see in the final. So, listen, my friend, let's get to it. But this is the final of the Zeropean Championships. Mash Gang versus
Bitburger.
Let's go.
Oh, this is so good. It really is so good. Really is.
This is hard. This is really, really hard.
Do you know what? I think we're just going to have the 3, 2, 1 say it. And see if it's the same.
Sure.
Right.
3, 2,
2,
1. Mash Gang.
Oh shit!
Shit. Okay, talk me through it.
Right. Interesting. I don't know what happens at this point because we've never been here. This is uncharted territory.
It's so exciting. I've got cramp.
Right, I think this really has gone through to penalties then, and we might have to get producer G involved as a drinker.
And we can't have it as a drinker. That defeats the object. He's subhuman. No. Okay, talk me through your reasoning. We'll talk through your reasonings.
Right. Maybe maybe this could be the first. Maybe it's like the Hunger Games when it's the first one where they have 2 winners. I don't know.
I don't think
I don't know.
do that.
But listen, for me, the Bitburger consistently throughout the tournament has delivered. It's never been in question. Like, I think as a proper lager, like a real, that kind of hint of German football day lager, it just is hitting the spot for me. The Mash Gang I love, but I don't know whether I love it just because it's like, it's not quite traditional in terms of like, it's got a slight different taste to it. I love it. I really do love it, and it gives me a lot of like good feeling. But that's my reasoning.
Okay. Upon my final taste, I took myself out of sitting in this room, and I put myself into the Market Square in Prague.
Yeah.
Right, where I watched West Ham
Yeah.
beat Fiorentina in a shirt not too dissimilar to this, actually. Fiorentina. And with that in mind, and me thinking about what for me would be a traditional lager in a drinking sense.
Yeah. Oh, he's been swayed.
Bitburger
He's been swayed.
is the champion.
There we go. We've crowned it.
That's not me to kind of, I guess, paraphrase that in the right way. When I think about what the purpose of this was, and when I think about the purpose of, again, it's not too dissimilar to the Lucky Saint conversation, on a swig and on a taste scenario, I am leaning towards that. But in terms of what I am after for a day drinking, evening drinking, football tournament extravaganza, Bitburger is the winner.
Has been crowned champion of Europe.
So there you go. There you have it. Do they think it's all sober? Zeropean Championships. 0 winning beer is Bitburger.
Wow, there we go. A tied contest into extra time and indeed penalties. Mash Gang came so close, but in the end, the power and the Pilsner of the German Bitburger reigned supreme as the premium zero sesh beer to accompany your day at the football. I've been Simon Thomas, and this has been the Zeropean Championship brought to you by They Think It's All Sober. They think it's all sober. It is now.